It was just a question of time before 50 Cent showed up. And when he did, he came in full blast, no filter, no compassion, just plain trolling instantly after Cassie's terrifying evidence regarding Freakoff Hotel Suites baby oil wigs masks and being taped without her knowledge.
Is very detailed information about what she says Sean Combs was having her participate in. And these are those freak-offs and how he would be providing her with drugs, suggesting that she take the drugs. And then she said she wanted to take the drugs for every single freak-off in order to disassociate with what was taking place. She said on the stand that she hated participating in these freak-offs. So this morning, what we've been seeing so far is this playing of the freak-off. So we cannot see this, but the jurors have a privacy screen on their monitor, so they're able to see some videos as well as some still images that the government has focused on in regard to these freak-offs. For the testimony, because we do not have cameras inside a federal courtroom, we're bringing it to you and giving you some quotes from what's said inside while Cassie has been on the stand. So she has been talking about how she was detailing how Combs would recover after the freak-offs. They used IV fluids, massages, and chef-prepared meals. She also said that she depended on opiates to make her feel numb and added she had an ongoing off and on addiction to some of the drugs. So some of the testimony that she has been providing so far, she was also detailing her declining health as a result of the frequent freak-offs. She had stomach issues as well as constant UTIs. Sometimes she had to participate in the freak-offs while infected. So we've heard this theme while she has been on the stand. She was also talking about how at times when she would be in the middle of her freak-offs, she might have to vomit, and then Sean Combs would still force her to participate in the freak-offs, even though she was very, very
50 was already up on the internet making jokes. As if it were a stand-up special he named Diddy Fruit Pop, mocked his hotel arrangements, and stated that the trial was more entertaining than any show on Netflix. He even shared pictures of text messages and clown faces questioning if Jay-Z still wanted to go out with his boy.
So as you know, the Diddy trial started today, and Cassie hit the stage, and 50 Cent could not control himself. Now, you know 50 Cent and Diddy have been enemies for the longest, and 50 Cent finds every reason to poke at Diddy. But today, he got so much ammo, it don't make no sense. So, 50 Cent just posted a picture of Sean Diddy Combs' jewelry selection. It's a bunch of hymns. And he wrote the caption, "I'm not sure if this is fair, but don't worry, be happy." He's a fool. 50, you out of control for that. Then he goes on and posts this picture. "Your Honor, this theory of Cassie kicking Diddy's ass, I'm not buying it." Yo, he's AIing pictures of himself in the court. That's crazy. He also decided to hit him with this. Yo, this guy's out of control. "Diddy said in your mouth," shaking my head. Yo, Diddy. You gotta. Then he gonna post this. "Down on your luck? Not feeling good today? Well, look at the bright side. You could be Diddy. Chin up." So 50 Cent he has unlimited ammunition now, especially considering the fact that this trial might go on for who knows how long.
But here's the thing, this trial is somber beneath the humor. Cassie talked about being videotaped, humiliated, and exploited, and 50 Cent isn't merely laughing at Diddy, he's shredding the entire industry. The silence, the pseudo-friendships, the pseudo-love. This is more than celebrity gossip, it's a reckoning. And Cassie is bringing some truly horrifying things to light.
The idea on the defense side is to say that Cassie Ventura was not coerced into these sexual encounters with male prostitutes under threat of violence or humiliation the way prosecutors describe, but was a willing, even eager participant in the swingers lifestyle that they say Sean Combs led.
Aaron, there was also some pretty surprising testimony today about Combs's drug use, allegations that he was addicted to opiates and at one point overdosed. What did we learn?
Well, this was part of the defense strategy, to concede that he's a drug user. Now, maybe the public didn't know the extent But the defense was pretty frank that at one point he was addicted to opiates. At one point he flew to Mexico to try what Cassie Ventura called a plant medicine type remedy that's not legal in the United States, that the two together tried just about every drug, MDMA, ecstasy, ketamine, that the night of the now infamous freak-off in 2016 in the Los Angeles Intercontinental Hotel, where an assault was then captured on video, that maybe Combs was high on a bad batch of MDMA. But the idea here, Eva, I think, was to say that the violence from Combs was not to coerce Cassie Ventura into sex. It was the result of drugs, or, in another aspect, was the result of jealousy and her infidelity. Because we also heard today, Eva, about her dating Kid Cudi and about her dating the actor Michael B. Jordan, and how that led to some pretty scary arguments, as Ventura put it, with Sean.
Diddy constructed an entire empire on mystery and power, and now it's coming apart in court in the papers. And on 50 Cent's Instagram feed, when Cassie testified, the courtroom became very quiet, no music, no strobe lights, just her voice steady. But lethal, she spoke of being drugged, trafficked, coerced into bizarre role-playing sessions with strangers, with Diddy lurking in the background.
Prosecution's star witness taking the stand, but it was more than that. It was how Cassie took that stand. You could hear a pin drop when those doors opened, and a visibly pregnant Cassie Ventura walking past a man she had not seen in 6.5 years, a man she says violently abused her for a decade, a man the prosecution said trafficked her. Well, she sat across from him, placed her overcoat behind her, turning her body slightly toward the jury, rubbing her pregnant belly throughout her testimony. Diddy, well, he was more fidgety than he was the day before. He was passing notes. He pushed himself away from the defense table and largely sat like that. They never seemed to make eye contact with one another, not even after she was crying about having loved him once and planning and participating in these freak-off sex parties because she feared him and she wanted to make him happy, but feeling worthless, feeling disgusting because she didn't want to do it. Now, with each moment, the testimony became more and more graphic. Her delivery, though, it never changed. It was matter of fact, steady, calm. At times, she was even critical of herself, walking us all through how a 10-album record deal came over a 10-year period of abuse and sexual humiliation. And once you hear Cassie's testimony, you'll understand why the courtroom was so tense. She described the freak-offs in lurid detail. She testified about Diddy, who she called Sean, choreographing it all. And she explained a pattern of physical abuse that she could not escape. Cassie told the jury about one freak-off at a hotel where Diddy told her to get into an inflatable pool filled with warm baby oil. The prosecutor asked, "What concerns did you have about not getting into the pool with baby oil?" Cassie responded, quote, "That, amongst other things, just his temper. If that is something that he wanted, Sean wanted to happen, that what was going to happen. There wasn't
And this wasn't a one-time, two-time thing. This was a pattern. There were lights, wigs, cameras, like a twisted music video. Nobody requested, and 50. He was also watching on his phone, munching popcorn, tweeting every few hours, as if it were a live sporting event.
You heard what he just said, right? He's like, yo, certain things they let it go by because it's puff. Like they would look, like he would say stuff, and it's like he wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway. Now you see so much shit that you go, wait. No, this was visible.
He was in the hallway. We saw the video.
You saw that video. It comes out later. You're like, that's not the closet. That's the hallway. He didn't give a fuck. Like you could tell that he was already.
Nah, New Yorkers know. Because when Fab, he was like, "Yo, Fab, we ain't party. Fab was like, "Nah, we partying tonight."
He's like, no, like, but he didn't party. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, they let that one go. Like, I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, it was first.
What does it feel like all these years, you being the only one calling this out?
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They said you're a hater. They said you're crazy.
You're do this. Yeah, and now everybody's complaining. My is hurting. There's all this shit that's coming.
50, you can't make jokes about it like this.
No.
The internet might come for you, bro.
All I'm saying
It
is,
might come from
you
you.
see it now. All of these complaints. People were damned, they were and pillaged. It was what was going on, right? And what do I get for the? I went through years of a hater. You're a hater. You want this and that. I'm just watching. Like, I look at things and go, when you see the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay, I go, oh shoot, like. Then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing, he just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that.
Wait, do you think there's truth to the Jay thing? There's no way.
Know. Like that, look, you know what's ill? Like if you say, I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you.
But jokes weren't all. 50 began calling out others as well. He inquired why Jay-Z still hanging around him. Then he took shots at other celebrities who remained silent. Y'all knew what was going on. He posted, "Y'all just ain't care till the receipts drop." Jay-Z has been rumored to be involved in Diddy's activities.
A federal judge has ruled the woman alleging she was raped by Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs can remain anonymous. The woman says both men raped her at a party when she was 13 years old. Jay-Z's legal team had fought to get the case dismissed, arguing his accuser should have to reveal her name. But the judge disagreed. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
A legal victory for the woman who is suing Jay-Z for allegedly raping her when she was 13. A federal judge ruling the woman can proceed with the case while remaining anonymous, at least for now. But the judge also chastising the lawyers representing Jay-Z, accusing them of trying to fast-track the judicial process by repeatedly filing motions to reveal the identity of the Jane Doe to have the case dismissed. The judge writing in a 5-page brief that the Carter's lawyers' relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because the counsel demands it. This latest legal twist coming after the recently filed civil lawsuit by Jane Doe, claiming that Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and P. Diddy, drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party after the MTV Music Awards in 2000, while an unnamed celebrity watched. Jay-Z has vehemently denied all the allegations, putting out this statement 2 weeks ago, writing in part, "This is a blackmail attempt." The multi-platinum artist, who was 30 at the time, now a business mogul with decades of hits to his name, with songs like Run This Town.
We are, yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation, pledge your allegiance.
His attorneys have denied everything about Jane Doe's account and pointed to some alleged inconsistencies in her story.
It's not just that this story is a lie and that it's not true. It's provably, demonstrably false. This never happened.
The judge writing that while Jane Doe can remain anonymous for now, she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date to allow Jay-Z's lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare for trial.
Oftentimes, when someone is accused of a crime like this, the accuser doesn't want to be named. And if they are forced to be named, we have seen certain people decide to drop the lawsuit altogether.
Morgan Norwood, thank you. And Tony Busby, the lawyer representing Jay-Z and Diddy's accuser, says in a statement to ABC News, quote, "I will say that the coordinated and desperate efforts to attack me as counsel for alleged victims are falling flat. We won't be bullied or intimidated." And we did reach out to Jay-Z and his team, but did not get a response.
The most univilized part, Diddy has not clapped back, even once. No post, no whisper. He's just sitting in court, arms folded as the world lights him up. And 50 takes the lead. It's as if each day another layer unwraps itself. Cassie's words rattled the courtroom, but 50 ensured. The world heard them loudly, because while Diddy's camp is attempting to play everything off as complicated relationships, 50 is making one thing plain: not your finished fruit pop. And everyone's watching you burn you.
I have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s and Keefe D said he paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
It's a little, like, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ create a docuseries, they went to Tubi, but.
Now, let's talk about the real circus, the freak-off rooms.
We're learning about the supplies that were apparently used in the freak-offs. Again, the star witness is Cassandra Ventura. She and Diddy were in a relationship for 10 years. It ended in 2018. Cassie sued Diddy in 2023, and he settled that suit the very next day. That lawsuit was a major spark to the story that has brought us to what's playing out in court right now. This week, we heard Cassie tell her story to the jury. She says that Combs beat her, berated her, and forced her to take part in what has been called freak-offs. They're alleged drug-fueled sex parties involving escorts. Cassie said they were mentally and physically exhausting. She claimed that the freak-offs often left her with sores, UTIs, and needing IVs to recover. The jury has seen pictures of injuries from the relationship, Cassie says, like bloody lips and black eyes that she claims that Diddy gave her when they were together. The jury has also seen a video of Diddy assaulting Cassie in the hallway of an LA hotel in 2016 that was leaked to CNN. That's been seen by millions of people. That video, Cassie testified, shows her trying to escape a freak-off party. Now, the jury has also heard testimony from Cassie about the physical toll that she said freak-off parties had on her. This is an exchange from the transcript. When she was speaking with the prosecution, she said, quote, "Occasionally, I would get sores on my tongue from the freak-offs, the taking drugs, substances, and just friction in my mouth." She says that friction wasn't just from oral sex, but also from having her mouth on things covered with oil and other lubricants. The jury, we know, has seen an image from the freak-offs, but we don't know what that image really looks like. Our reporter, who has been in the courtroom every day, says it was only shown to jurors. It was not shown to those who have been sitting in the gallery. The defense, in its cross-examination, has been having Cassie read dozens of text messages that she and Combs sent to each other during their relationship. Messages like this one, trying to show that she was a willing participant in the freak-offs. Combs asks, quote, "When do you want to freak off, LOL?" And then Cassie replies, "LOL, I am just going up to change and put my ring in. I just picked it up. I'm always ready to freak off, LOL. LOL. The defense is trying to paint Combs and Ventura's relationship as one that was far more loving and consensual than Cassie's testimony presented thus far, and also prove that she wasn't forced to be part of the freak-offs, but she was a willing participant, and beyond that, she often organized them, they say. That she was the one who contacted the escorts often and put these things.
Cassie said Diddy had a whole checklist. Nails had to be French tip, body waxed, wigs ready. Sometimes she wore masks, other times stripper heels and leather. All this while Diddy played director, choosing the lighting, controlling the camera angles, even handing out baby oil like it was lotion in a spa. Except this wasn't a fantasy. It was a prison.
Yeah, and that's, of course, makes things much more complicated because usually you try to, in the best case circumstances, you want to keep your personal life and your professional life separate. But here's an instance where it's one and the same. And so now you've got the cycle of violence where you have a violent incident, then I would assume, because that's usually how it goes, the perpetrator, Diddy in this case, would be like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Oh my gosh, the flowers, the jewelry, all the other things. I really love you. This is never going to happen again." And of course, the survivor, because they are in love with the person, continues in the relationship. And then there's a period of peace. It could be months, it could be weeks, it could be a day. It all varies based on the relationship. And again, over time, that cycle gets tighter and tighter, where more violent events start to happen in a shorter amount of time versus maybe in the beginning of the relationship where there might be a violent incident and then the next one hypothetically could be a month later. So the cycle is basically the violent event, apologies, a honeymoon period, a buildup, and then another violent incident. And so she's been testifying about how he's brutalized her, but then again, you see them out on the red carpet, you see, her with jewelry and cars and all of these things, which is basically kind of like blood contributions, right? Because he's trying to get her to stay with him and obviously not report and not tell everybody his business. And again, a lot of this we saw in terms of the lawsuit, how quickly he settled, because he knew what was all going to come out, and he knew once the public started to hear about this, this was going to be very destructive for him. And of course, the law enforcement investigation really took it over the top. So I think this is going to be very much centered on the battered person's experience and having those experts really explain to the layperson how these types of relationships.
Y'all, there's a video going around that Chloe Bailey allegedly leaked, and if it's real, it's game over for DDG. This isn't no clout chasing rumor. We're talking full-blown domestic abuse claims, police reports, bruised up receipts, and a chipped tooth, and a whole restraining order. And now DDG is facing possible jail time. All this exploded after Chloe allegedly exposed footage that shows her sister Haley Bailey getting physically assaulted by her ex-DDG. The internet is losing its mind over it, according to official court docs. Hi, says DDG snapped while she was buckling their son Halo into a car seat. She claimed he yelled, "Get out of my car, B," and slammed her head into the steering while yanking her hair and chipped her tooth. She even submitted pictures of the bruises on her arms and that chipped tooth. But here's where it gets shady. Folks online are saying that that is not even her tooth. Yeah, you heard me, a Barble video claims the chipped tooth H has been showing off belongs to her sister Chloe. To drive you a little, drive the boat, that chipped tooth. So if this is true, what are we really talking about here? A cover-up, a setup? Now before y'all say it's all a reach, DDG didn't even know about this restraining order until TMZ dropped the report first. His own brother Dub was shocked too.